Hello and welcome to Bringing Education Home. I'm Herb.
And I'm Christina. Together, we are sharing ideas that we believe will help families grow stronger, healthier, and happier that are both inside
and outside the box. If you like the show, be sure to follow Christina on Facebook.
And be sure to leave us a like and review on your favorite podcast platform.
Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Alicia, I'm going to say this right, Mazari Andersen. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Excellent. Alicia is a seasoned biologist and holistic nutritionalist with 25 years of experience in higher education and over a decade dedicated to teaching the art of healthy habits. At 62, she is living proof of her philosophy and her commitment to optimal nutrition, regular movement, quality sleep, hydration, and mental well-being. She is now focused on teaching how to discover the genetic root cause of health challenges. She is not just talking the talk, she is walking the walk. Welcome, Alicia.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me over again. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much. I know you're still working with kids and families and, well, yeah, that's the bottom of my heart.
And I just have to say, you don't look 62, so your bio has got to be wrong. That's just it. It's wrong.
I feel like I'm 62, but I truly feel I'm 30. I have so much energy. I have, so much passion for what I do, and absolutely. And we just decided to jump into a new idea and to help families, to help kids, to help you, become the best you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Herb and I have gone through our ups and downs with our eating habits and things. And we do know that, when we're eating things that are a little bit more healthy for us, we usually feel a little bit better, have a more energy, and look a little younger. So
right now I'm kind of in a down. I haven't been eating as healthy. I gained a little weight. And so I'm feeling that. And it's really driving the nutrition home for me at the moment, because it's really starting to impact some of the stuff that I can do. And so I'm very well at the moment again.
Yeah. So, basically comes to who you are as a human being. Like, how do you feel the best? Where there's no inflammation, there's no health challenges, especially in families. We're looking a lot at kids with a lot of, behavioral challenges and stuff like that. So this is the thing. It's like, how do we find the root cause of it all? Because, first of all, that our food industry has changed the way we eat.
Yes.
So when you think about that, right? When you think about how do we eat, it's like, well, the health industry, basically the food industry is not helping us at all, right? And one important thing about this is because, when a lot of cardiovascular diseases started in the world, they said, oh, remove the fat. The fat is the problem. Well, guess what? The fat has never been the problem. The problem is sugar. And because things don't taste well, they put in the sugar. So we intake huge amount of sugar. We intake huge amount of things that are highly processed, that have zero nutrients, many things that cause inflammation in the body. And, I think last time we were talking with you guys, we were talking about like lunches, like school lunches, right? And you're like, oh, can we change that? Can we change the philosophy of what we feed our kids at schools? So how can we actually figure out what is at the bottom of it all? Okay, well, of course, at the bottom of it all is money, right? Like people want to make more money regardless.
Yep.
But they're taking our health in their hands. And the thing about this, if you know your genetics, if you know your genes, the ones you were born with, they actually were created by mom and dad. The minute you were actually made as one cell, these genes you were born with, where you're gonna die with.
Yep.
And so if we're able to explore this, it's like, how can we actually look at our genes and see how our bodies are responding to this environment? So yes, we talk about genetics, but we talk something very interesting, which is epigenetics. Can I change my environment so I can change how my genes respond to the environment?
Okay.
And for example, I'll just put you an example. Okay. If I'm looking at a person that has inflammation anywhere in the body. You know, like I'm dealing with people that have like autoimmune diseases, cancers, you know, things like now doctors use this word idiopathic. The other day, a girl came to me and said, "Oh, I have chronic idiopathic myositis," and I'm like, and I said, "You know what that means?" I'm like, "No, but it sounds really good." Okay, let me tell you. Let me explain what that is.
Right.
Chronic is that you've had it for a long period of time. Myositis is that your muscles are actually inflamed.
Okay.
And idiopathic is that the doctor has no idea what caused it. So with all these words, you know, that they put on us, for example, you know, your kid has autism. Within autism, there's such a huge umbrella about autism. But what is the root cause of this autism or TDA or ADD or ADHD, whatever label you want to put? Are we able to find out what is the root cause of it all? And this is what we're finding, guys. Wow. We're finding that the answer is yes. Mm-hmm. And when you know the root cause, then you can actually change the environment based on that specific root cause. Okay. And get your genes to respond better, and get you to truly feel a lot happier, a lot healthier, and mentally, physically, emotionally, everything, because we're a whole. And truly come to the place where, hey, I know my genetics. I know what to do about that. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know if you know, but I'm originally from Mexico. So I have a lot of Mexican clients nowadays. And sure enough, we love tequila. Okay. You know that. Uh-huh. So anyway, when you love tequila and you start drinking a little bit too much, what happens to your body? Well, tequila or all alcohol needs to go through your liver. Uh-huh. I'm finding so many people with liver issues based on their genetics, where I'm able to actually change the environment of the liver, change it so that, guess what? You can metabolize alcohol and other things. Okay. So how do we do that? It's crazy how we're doing that. I don't have a lab. I'm a biologist. I don't have a lab. If I had a lab, I'll know how to do it. Like, I know right away how to do it, right? I've been teaching biology, genetics, biochemistry. Oh, did I freeze?
No, you're still good. Going on. We're just enraptured by what you're saying. We're like, go, what? Ooh, what?
I know. You're like, oh, what is she talking about? I've taught many things. I've taught general biology, but I've taught cell biology, biochemistry, genetics. So when my business partner invited me to be part of this new thing, I'm like, I'm not ready. And she goes like, I'm doing it even without you. She's a social worker. She goes like, and then she goes like, well, I cannot really do it without you.
We need you.
Because I bring the science, but I've been translating the science, because we have a mentor, a naturopathic doctor in Toronto, and she talks to doctors. So when you talk to doctors, you use one language. But when you talk to your clients or your patients, you use a different language. So see, this is the whole idea. We want to empower people to understand their genetics, to know what to do on a daily basis, and to start changing your environment so your genes, and based on your genes, like it's your map. This is you. There's nobody else like you. You know, like it's like yesterday I was talking with a guy, and it was so funny because he's like, I said, you got this from your mom, you got this from your dad, you got this from both. Sorry, you got the worst part of both of them. And he was just laughing. He's like, oh, so my parents can do this, but I shouldn't? I'm like, well, your parents can do this much, but you have to do a little bit more. For example, right? For example, there's a gene that lets you know if you can actually digest lactose. Lactose is the sugar in milk. So if you cannot digest lactose, how does your body respond? It will respond with inflammation, right? And inflammation where? Anywhere in the body. Anywhere in the body. Can be your brain, can be your stomach, can be. And this guy was like, well, I've had digestive issues forever. But I love my quesadillas because he's Mexican. And I'm like, I don't understand. I love quesadillas too. But every time I have a quesadilla, I need to have a specific enzyme to break down that lactose. Because otherwise my stomach gets bloated. I feel terrible, but I know exactly what I have to do.
Right.
Now, when you have inflammation chronically for a long period of time, it's very hard to know until something bursts. For example, just to give you an idea, if you are having TV dinners for a long period of time, okay, and then you end up having no motivation, you affect your sleep, you start getting really moody, sure enough, you gain weight and all this stuff. After a long period of time, it's like, how can I reverse that? Oh, I'll go see the doctor. They give me a medication. They give you medication, and then 2 months later, you need another medication because that medication is affecting something else.
Yeah.
And you end up being a walking pharmacy.
Yeah.
You know, you see older people, they're like walking pharmacies. I don't know if you've ever been to a hospital, the ward with older people. It stinks.
Yeah. And it
stinks
scary.
because of the medications they're on.
They have a whole handful of
medications. And not only that, people don't know how they interact with each other. So how can we avoid getting there? Like, how can we avoid getting there is understanding what your body needs. Based on your genetics, we're able to know how much carbohydrates you should be eating, how much protein you should be eating, what type of protein you should be eating. Can you know, what type of fats? Because we all need fats, you know. Do I have a gene that, you know, where I am pre-diabetic? Well, you might. So how can I deal with this, right? Optimizing your digestion is key. Optimizing your detoxification is key. Optimizing your immunity is key. And everything else starts falling into place.
When Herb was working with a naturopath, she did a lot of genetic testing on him. And, you know, for a long time, people were like, oh, don't eat red meat. It's not good for you. It's, you know, it's not. But when she looked at his, she was like, no, your genetics tell you that you do need a certain amount. You know, don't go overboard, but your body works better when you have red meat. So she specifically put it in his diet. You will eat red meat at least this many times a week.
Yeah.
I don't digest potatoes very well, and
that's correct.
I get anxious. I bleed zinc like mad. So so when stuff is going wrong, I need to zinc or magnesium. I bleed magnesium. So it's like whenever I get stressed, it's like my magnesium levels just drop, and if I start getting magnesium, I'll start feeling better. So
and we're all different. We're unique, right? We're all unique. We're all absolutely different. You know, I'm not the same as you guys, and you're not the same as me. My kids are not the same as me. My husband is never the same as me. You know, we're all very different. So when we can do individualized things, you know, but one important thing we're finding is that, for example, well, we're all addicted to sugars, but we're also very addicted to carbohydrates, right? It's like the pizza, the pasta, the bread, the, you know, the chips, all of that stuff. The potatoes, we are all highly, highly addicted to carbohydrates. So it's adapting us and like being able to remove the carbohydrates slowly to the right amount of carbohydrates that you can actually eat in a day. And one thing is, everybody, you know, a lot of people contact us because they want to lose weight. That's a typical thing, right? I want to lose weight. But also it's like, are you ready? Are you ready to make these changes? Are you ready for these changes to be sustainable? Or do you want to keep being inflamed the rest of your life, having this chronic myositis, idiopathic myositis? Is that what you want?
Or are you going to yo-yo back and forth? Oh, I'll do it for a little while and feel better, and then I'll slip back. And, you know,
I got to a point in my life where I had to make the change. It was after I hurt my head. And so I completely changed my diet. I went onto an anti-inflammatory diet. I cleaned up a lot, and my weight just plummeted. And at no point in any of that was weight loss the
key,
goal.
the goal, yeah.
And no, so everybody's like, oh, you're trying to lose weight. And it's like, no, I'm trying to not hurt anymore. And
That's right.
the weight loss just happened to be a byproduct of eating the way I was supposed to. So it's not like I was trying to lose weight. I was trying to fix my insides, and all of the weight fell off as a byproduct, not as the focus.
Weight loss is the result of it. You know, it's like people go like, I want to lose weight. You will once you understand your body. And one issue that we're seeing a lot is sleep. And in families, you know, especially with all these kids with autism, ADD, ADHD, sleep is something that people are not paying enough attention to.
Yes.
Do you know there's a huge difference between sleeping 7 hours to sleeping 8 hours?
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge difference, a huge difference. The quality of your sleep needs to be there, especially in families, especially with kids. If you're listening to this, and if you have a kid that's been diagnosed with any of these, ADD, ADHD, whatever label you want to put on, start with sleep.
Yes, please.
Work with your kids about learning how to have healthy habits. And one of them is sleep. Yes or yes. There's no way around it.
Right.
There's no way around it. Nobody can live without sleep.
So Christina was a teacher for 27 years. So her stories are a lot more. But when I left Intel, you know, I made a promise, and I actually came and I helped at her school, and I worked with her students, and you know, I actually participated and did stuff in her classroom. And really the problem children, the children who had issues controlling themselves, when you really looked into their eyes, they were so tired. Not like I didn't get enough sleep last night, but like chronic. I haven't slept in my entire life. Just it's like you can just see this deep weariness in them. And as a child, it's like they're so full of energy. How can you be so tired and so full of energy at the same time? And that's why they just kind of blow up.
Yeah,
they blow up. And you know what? These tantrums are adults and kids. It's not just the kids. Mm-hmm. It's us parents.
Yeah.
So as a parent, are you really a good, true role model for your kids? Right. Are you really a true role model for your kids?
Yep.
Are you the one that doesn't sleep? Take a look.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just, sleep is amazing. Sleep to me right now is like, you know, I take care so much of my sleep that, you know, the day I miss half an hour, I notice it. Like it's just like half an hour.
Yeah.
I haven't quite got there yet, but I had insomnia for about 10 years when I was going through some things. And so I remember clearly about 7 years ago when I finally fell asleep and slept through the night and woke up, and it was like, what happened? And it was like,
so good.
And so I know how important sleep is. And I know still that I wake up a couple of times in the middle of the night and I'm not getting it fully right yet, but I'm still dialing it in. And every once in a while, it's like, that was it. How do I get back to that? So it's taking me years. And so if you don't just go from not sleeping to boom. So if you are going to try something like this, take it easy on yourself, be gentle with yourself. You hear all of these in so many meditations, but it can take you years to fix some of these issues because it took you years to develop them. So again, there's very seldom an easy button, but stuff like this is easier. And it makes it possible to get there sooner.
Yeah.
And so
we're able to demonstrate why through your genetics, we're able to demonstrate why is it that you have not slept your whole life. We have an 82-year-old taking our program, and she said, I can't believe this. She said, I'm 82. I have been sleeping 6.5 hours my entire life. I'm sleeping 8 hours now.
Wow.
And she's like, you know, the other thing is we love her. She goes like, she was addicted to sugar. She was the type of person that will go and buy like 1 liter of ice cream and finish the whole bucket. So anyway, she decided, okay, I'll go get my ice cream. So she went, read the labels as we showed her how, picked up the healthiest of them all, got home, put herself two teaspoons in a dish. She had it. She put it away. She goes like, it's been in my freezer for three weeks. It's the first time that this has ever happened to me. I have no cravings. And it had to do with her metabolic genes. Like,
Yeah.
how do you metabolize? Do you have cravings? Why do you? But the reason is, why do I have cravings?
Yeah.
Or why is it that I need this amount of protein in my diet? Can I be a vegetarian? Can I be a vegan? Maybe yes, maybe no. Like you, can I have red meat or, chicken or fish? Or can I, it's so amazing when you do this work to find out the exact root cause. That's why my talk is called Find the Exact Root Cause. But don't only find it, know the tools you need to do to reverse it. Because living in pain is probably one of the worst things that can happen to anybody. People ask me, oh, so what medications are you on? I'm like, none. I'm running none. I don't take any medications. They go like, but you're fine. I'm like, I feel no inflammation in my body.
Right.
Zip. I have calmed down. I was always like zoom, zoom, zoom. I have been going from up here to down here without a problem. My nervous system has calmed down. My stress levels have calmed down. It's just like, and it makes sense to me the way I'm feeling.
Right.
Yeah. And it makes sense to me that we can get there with our families, with our kids, and with anybody that's open to do the work.
Yes.
Because you are the one that does the work, not me. I'll give you the tools on what to do, but you are the person that needs to do the work. Are you ready for it?
Once you find out what you need to eat and how you need to cook it and what you need to do, the work is eating that, cooking that, and doing that. So knowing that that's what you have to do is the easy part. Seriously.
Oh, that's easy. I can take a course and not implement it, not put it into practice.
Right.
But again,
getting
it's up
into
to
it,
you.
to making that commitment, to making that life change is life changing.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, when you're looking at education of our children, even education of adults, if your brain and your body is inflamed, if you are not getting enough sleep, are you really able to learn? No. Why are we having learning difficulties? Why are we having anxiety problems? Why are we having so many different things? Because our bodies aren't getting what they need. So let's try to make some of these changes to make education better, make family life better, less fighting, less, anxiety, less all of that kind of stuff. Let's really kind of dial in and find those causes.
And if they get it right as a kid, then when they do step out, when they get out on their own and they're inundated without the support model that they have, and they do step into that, then it's like, oh yeah, that's not right for me. And now I can feel why. Now I can tell why. And they have the foundation to be able to say, okay, now that I know this experientially why I have to eat this way, now let's go back to actually doing it. So I feel.
And I can tell you, I have 3 kids, all of them young adults. We have an emptiness now. They all moved out. What did they take with them? Well, all their stuff. Yeah. Was that important? No. What did they really take with them was a healthy habits.
Yep. Healthy habits.
When I go to their place, open their fridge, it's a mirror of mine.
Yeah.
And to me, that is golden.
Yep.
Because they don't need to suffer with any of these diseases or made up names.
Yep.
I have adults that say, when I was a kid, I had ADD. I still have it. I'm like, why you still have it? Well, no. And yes, it's just making one little step at a time. But when you do one little step at a time and the result, then, it's phenomenal.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, Alicia, this has been a wonderful conversation again. I'm so glad that we got back together, and, go find the original podcast from earlier this year. And Alicia's name is right there. We talk nutrition and family cooking and things like that. And now we're talking about how to find those root causes and keep that nutrition. Can you please make sure you say out loud, how can our families get a hold of you? How can they find you to start working on this and making their family healthier?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the information for our program, there's in there, it's www.imbalancelm.com/gene-reset_am. It is imbalancelm.com. I work with my nutrition partner here in Canada. And there you can find also all the information you have for our gene reset, some free resources about gene reset, and how can you get started. It's not rocket science.
Awesome. I will have all of that in the show notes whenever we produce this show to make sure that you can find Alicia and the program.
And as we're wrapping up, is there one more thing that you like, oh man, I wish we would have got to that today, or one little thing that's like, this is just out of the blue, I want to say this? Go for it. You got a minute. What's something that you would like to talk about?
Never give up. Always find the root cause and you can fix anything.
That is a wonderful message for any age, for all people.
Exactly.
Just keep moving forward and trying to figure it out. So beautiful message. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, audience, for being with us as well. Make sure that you take some of these nuggets that we've talked about, implement it in your family with your children, help them learn and grow and be the best family with happy, healthy, and successful kids. Until next time, we'll see you around. Bye for now.